Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. Once again, you're here with Scott, and it is time, almost time at least, to enjoy the WWE Royal Rumble Kickoff experience. If you've been with us on the channel over the past few months or nearly a year now, you'll know that we really enjoy doing these kickoff streams. It's a great time to kind of dive into some off the cuff interviews, I feel, that are really exciting. And what we're going to do is basically do a run through of what's going on the screen. We want to be your watch along companion, essentially, to WWE's kickoff stream. Thank you to everyone that joined me earlier on this evening as well for the kickoff. Weekend kickoff stream that we did here on this very channel, where we broke down a lot of the rumors flying around WWE Royal Rumble weekend, of course, where we were talking about who's going to be a surprise in the Rumble matches themselves. We also went through the card in a little bit more detail, and we'll be doing more of that, of course, on the build-up show as well. But what we are doing here is watching the kickoff show that WWE are going to be presenting to us in just over 8 minutes. And stay tuned, and we'll be back breaking down the kickoff show right after this.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.
All right, once again, we are going to be reacting live to everything that goes down on the Royal Rumble kickoff show. This is your watch along experience. If you haven't been here already for one of these, welcome along for the ride. My name is Scott, and we are going to dissect every little detail on the kickoff show. I really enjoy these shows. Of course, the first one we saw was going into WrestleMania last year. It wasn't even the night before the PLE back then. It was a good, at least a week or so. No, probably a few weeks, right? I think it was about 2 weeks out. But nowadays, the kickoff show tends to be the night before a major PLE. And it's become a real kind of fun tradition now on this channel to basically have this watch along experience with you guys and get hyped up and excited for the PLE at hand. And of course, as we record this on Friday night, we are just under 24 hours away from the Royal Rumble kicking off. And when we finally do get there on Saturday, we'll have our build-up stream as well. Now, I know that part of this stream will be played as a replay on that build-up stream. So if you're listening to me on Saturday, hey, welcome along for the ride as well. But if you've tuned in on Friday night in my timeline, confusing, then welcome to you as well. Now, the stream by WWE is set to begin in just over 6 minutes. If you are watching on Saturday's stream, and again, you are watching this as a replay or just watching on demand, then again, you're about 6 minutes away, essentially, from syncing up your stream, essentially, from with ours. And it'd be interesting to see what matches are featured tonight, what superstars get interviewed on stage, and what the setup looks like. I've really enjoyed these. Of course, it looked a little bit different in Saudi Arabia, where they had it the WWE Experience. I think it's called. Or is that the one that's a WrestleMania? WWE World. No, that was at New York. Whatever it's called out there in Saudi Arabia. It was a cool little setup they did. They had it in a ring, and they don't usually have that. They usually have that stage. Now, the last one they did, I actually didn't manage to do a stream for, but that was the kickoff show to Raw on Netflix. Again, wasn't the night before the event. It was a few weeks out. But we've gone back to it here. And again, they didn't do one for Survivor Series, which is a real shame. You might remember we did our own kickoff stream just to kind of make up for it anyway, because as I say, it's become a little bit of a tradition on this channel. But guys, let me know what you're most looking forward to at the Royal Rumble. What match excites you the most? Again, it's quite a fun card to predict, and I've seen a lot of my friends in the wrestling media have had a tough time, just like we have here on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, at trying to figure out what exactly is going to happen. Because even when you feel sure about a prediction, you start to listen to other people's arguments and you go, oh, hold on a minute. there's quite a few winners there for the men's rumble. Oh, there's quite a few for the women's rumble, and even the ones that feel like dead sets. You know, like the world title, or the WWE title match, I should say. What if, Kevin Owens wins it? Now, I'm looking forward to seeing if Kevin Owens is featured again on the kickoff show tonight, or will we see an interview from Cody, maybe a face-to-face with the two as well. Of course, there aren't many matches on this card. You've got this one here, the WWE title match, of course, with a ladder stipulation. You've also got DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns in a 2 out of 3 falls match. So really, beyond that, because you kind of have 30 people on the stage tonight, right? There's not really much room for kind of other matches. So unless they just handpick a few guys, which kind of would feel a bit odd that certain people were there and certain people not. Will we start reading into, oh, this person's getting interview time, this person's not even being mentioned? It's interesting, right? Because you think about how they promote Royal Rumbles. It's kind of like that on Raw and SmackDown, right? Who gets the features? Who's in the kind of big melee at the end of Raw when it's like, oh my gosh, you should tune into the Rumble because it's going to be like this, but crazier. That kind of, traditional spot they seem to do. And then, who's kind of kept in the background so that it could be more of a surprise if they do dump something big at the PLE. So it'd be interesting to see how they promote on this kickoff show. Each wrestler's cause, essentially, each wrestler's claim to that kind of victorious spot in the Royal Rumble match for both the men and the women. Again, this is kind of a new thing for WWE, right? We only saw this kind of format for the kickoff show, at least, because what used to be known as the kickoff is now branded as the countdown show. This new version of the kickoff is, again, going into PLEs usually the night before. And the first one, as we say, was WrestleMania. So this time last year, this format didn't exist from WWE. They've really kind of I guess, tweaks lately their presentation. As I say, this got branded the kickoff. The countdown is now the name of the one on the night of the PLE itself. And then you've got the post show, which kind of had different versions for a bit. They toyed around with press conferences only, and then they started doing this kind of mixture of talking to personalities, the kind of stuff you used to see on the old kickoffs and what are now known as the countdowns, those panels, and Michael Cole and people like that, for example, Pat McAfee as well. So yeah, it's a new kind of era, I guess, for WWE's kind of bonus content around the PLEs, and it's a new one for us here on the channel as well. As I say, we've been doing our build-up shows for a few years now. It's all about getting us and you guys hyped up and in the mood for the PLE, and I always like to say that these shows here are the easiest ones to do it for, right? Because how hard is it to get excited for the Royal Rumble? It's one of the most exciting times of the year to be a wrestling fan. But of course, we are here right now, though, to do the watch-along for that. So this is a new part of our content strategy on this channel, so we really appreciate all the great feedback we've had surrounding this. And again, Survivor Series, we did one without a watch along. It was just our regular weekend kickoff now, and we brought that back in here at Royal Rumble into the schedule as well. If you haven't seen it already, we've had our predictions earlier on this week, so once this live stream is over, feel free to go back and check that out as well. But yeah, let's get into it, guys. We are about a minute and a half away from WWE's kickoff show for the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis. Really excited to see where we go here, and if there are any kind of hints towards possible surprises at the Rumble and stuff like that as well. So once again, if you're watching live with us, the stream, as you're probably aware, is about to start. If you're watching this on the replay on the build-up show on Saturday night, then we are about a minute away essentially from kicking off with this watch-along kickoff stream. Got the WWE graphic at the moment letting us know that they are working behind the scenes essentially to get this going. We should be getting going in just a moment. And again, it's one of my favorite things to do now is come on the channel and do these kickoff streams, because I just really enjoy them. I think they're really fun shows. Like, again, you don't get a lot of storyline progression in them that often. But it's always interesting to see who they're using and what matches they're featuring. And, again, the wrestlers go a little bit off script on these promos. So I really enjoy seeing that as well, because they look like they have fun with it as well. So it'd be interesting to see what we get tonight. And once again, let me know, guys, what are you looking forward to on the Royal Rumble card? And what do you think is going to happen as far as surprises? I'd love to know which kind of ex-WWE superstar or current TNA star or, debuting star you think is going to show up during one of those famous countdowns. Again, man, what a cool time to be a wrestling fan. Royal Rumble season, so much fun. All right, we've hit the hour mark and the stream. Oh, there we go. Right on cue. I was just going to say it hasn't started, but there we go. Then, now, forever together. The signature is now playing. So again, if you're watching live with me, that's what I'm looking at. If you're watching on demand or on the build-ups version of this with a recap, then again, the signature has just started. Then, now, forever together, which reminds me, have you seen that Matt Cardona post we talked about earlier on the Weekend Kickoff stream? If you haven't seen that already, you've got plenty of time to watch after this, guys. All right, so introduction, some lovely scenery of Indianapolis, which of course is going to be getting SummerSlam and WrestleMania. We're not sure when yet, but this time around, the Royal Rumble's at Lucas Oil Stadium. Cole says they expect about 60,000. Okay, so now they're over the road, home of the Pacers. What's the stage look like? Okay, no, first of all, we're seeing Cody walking backstage past all the Pacer player images. And then we've got Liv and Raquel Rodriguez being shown now as well. Wow, so they must be on the show tonight. So again, interesting to see which participants from the Rumble matches they want to feature. The tag champions as well, Bianca and Naomi in matching gear. Always cool to see with a tag team, even when they're not performing in the ring. CM Punk. So everyone we've seen so far, barring Cody actually, is related to the Rumble. So we should be seeing all these, of course, as well. Drew McIntyre now being featured. Interesting note about Liv Morgan, they say as well, about final 2 years in a row. 15th Rumble of Mr. Rey Mysterio Jr. Here we go, guys. Kicking off officially now with the WWE's Kickoff stream. Hype now from Pat McAfee, of course, former Indianapolis Colt himself. Surely a big part of why they've gone to Indy in the first place. Okay. Basically a hype around Pat McAfee, then they count down to 5 and they're like, to be continued. What does that mean? We're just going to see more of that promo, or are they kind of insinuating that Pat's going to be in the Rumble? Which should be kind of cool. Like, he hasn't wrestled in a while, right? And he was pretty cool, like when he did. I know some people getting a little bit tired of him on the mic. But I think there's still room for Pat. Big audience there. Yeah. Really hyping up Pat now to the home crowd, I guess, for him. Yeah, of course, in our timeline at the moment, we're a few hours away from SmackDown as well. This is a good point. So they're talking about how loud the fans are usually at these kickoffs and at the SmackDowns and stuff like that. Because most of these kickoffs have been international shows. There was one Bash in Berlin. There was one, of course, for Backlash in Lyon. We mentioned the Saudi Arabian one earlier on as well. They didn't do one for Survivor Series. So it has been more of an international feel, which is why it's been fun seeing, like, again, the international fans experience the wrestlers up close and get a free fan event, essentially. Okay, Tyrese Halliburton now on the stage. So I guess they're going to really play into the kind of Indianapolis theme. Slow Sports in the house. How you doing, buddy? Great to see you here, mate. Hope you're enjoying the kickoff show. We haven't had much yet, but I'm excited to see who. Well, we kind of know who's going to be interviewed, but it'd be exciting to see what they do. Early prediction, don't give a spoiler. That was a bit of a weird thing to say. That's like he does know something, right? And Pat was trying to hint, don't slip up. CM Punk chant now from the audience, who, if you haven't seen my predictions yet, spoiler alert, it's my pick at the moment. Oh, he says John Cena. Another prediction on this channel earlier from Dan. Tyrese is rushing after the game, he says. Okay, so now I assume they're going to be talking about Triple H. Okay, yeah, so we haven't really had a chance to talk about on this channel just yet, but Triple H has officially been announced as entering the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble. Oh, that'd be cool. Entering the Hall of Fame this year. They're showing on screen now the footage of Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker surprising him at WWE headquarters the other day. And I'm sure we'll dive a lot deeper into Triple H's kind of entry into the Hall of Fame as we get towards WrestleMania season. But needless to say, well deserved. It is funny, you know, he's in charge of the company basically, and not long after that, he's in the Hall of Fame. But it needs to be done. He's well deserved, don't get me wrong. And if all this is to be believed, he knew nothing about it. So not like he forced his way in. Stephanie coming out was lovely. I saw this footage the other day. Really nice to see Stephanie's kind of joy about this as well. Good for them, eh? Good for them. Nice moment there from Triple H and his buddies. But yeah, Triple H is going to be in the Hall of Fame. Okay, so Tyrese is going to be doing the introduction here for Triple H. All right. He didn't call him a Hall of Famer. That's probably for the best because he's not a Hall of Famer yet, guys. Remember, he's not in it yet. I guess they had to mention that, right? Because he's always a big part of these kickoff shows. He starts it, and they kind of need to get that out of the way, right? That he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. It's a big news story, don't get me wrong. Cool little camera shot there through the crowd. Again, this is like what's weird about watching these shows. They like everyone's just having a laugh. You know, like Michael Cole trying to get his own little handshake in there with Triple H. I thought there was a claw on Triple H's back there. Looks a bit like what they call the Angel Garza and what's his face? The claws they've got on their chest. You know what I'm talking about. Hector Garza's relatives. Also looks a bit like Brian Kendrick's jacket. Remember that? Man with a Plan. Oh man, I'm so ready for the Rumble. All right, so they're saying it's the biggest Royal Rumble in history. They mentioned that earlier on, and it's kind of what they say these days. But if it is 60,000, that really is the biggest. Because remember, a few years ago, I think the one that Drew won was that 40,000 or something like that. It looked massive. 65,000 plus, he says. It's gonna be cool. I'd love to go to a Royal Rumble. Been privileged enough to go to a few WrestleManias, but I'd love to go to a Royal Rumble. All right, so looks like we're going to bring out someone soon. They're talking about Royal Rumble matches itself first. One shot. It sounds like Eminem in 8 Mile. So currently on screen again for those watching live on demand or on the replay. Triple H is on stage talking about how special it is to try and make history at the Royal Rumble. All right, who's he going to name? So his name's Seth, CM Punk. Oh, what was that? What was that? Music started there and it just stopped. What was that? Okay, so they're making a joke out of it because of what happened in the Hall of Fame announcement. So Triple H, Shawn versus Undertaker wheelchair and a pole match at WrestleMania is suggested, eh? We don't want that apparently. I mean, judging by that Saudi tag match a few years ago, probably don't want that. Right, Seth CM Punk. Why did that music play there? Drew McIntyre. I thought it's because it was someone going to come out and stop him from saying loads of names so that he didn't give away too much. Roman Reigns, John Cena. What was that music? Was that a mistake? Women's Rumble. Charlotte Flair is mentioned. Bianca Belair. Surely not. Naomi. Surely not. Not tag champs. Liv Morgan. Maybe. Is only named 4 for the women. So this is the risk of doing this at a Royal Rumble. Fans might start chanting names of someone who's not going to be there, or like surprises. So he says for the surprises and moments. They say it every year, to be fair. But imagine if someone in the audience, when it went quiet, just shouted out a name who they really didn't want you to be thinking about because it is massive surprise or something, Okay. Oh, so he's really hyping up surprises now. So just about anyone could enter Royal Rumble as a surprise. Hinting at Tyrese now. I'm sure it'll get them clicks. Okay, so he's saying you got a minute, and he's saying, yeah, let's talk. They're going to the back. Right, so it looks like they are going to have an active NBA player in the Royal Rumble, potentially. Cool moment for, it's 1 out of 29, though. I'm not. Anyway, we'll see how we feel about it if it happens. Yeah, imagine that. Like, he's playing a game, and then he was talking about how it'd be kind of tough to rush out there in time and get to the Rumble to watch it. And now they're kind of suggesting he might be in it. Maybe he's not gonna. This is just all silliness. I don't know. But you don't know with WWE these days. Like they're really taking advantage out of their kind of celebrity fans and just getting them in the ring, which sounded a dodgy thing years back, right? But we've had some great examples in recent years. Anyway. Okay, so we're gonna have some interviews now with people from the Rumbles. They won it in 2006. Got to be Rey Mysterio, right? All right. Come on. Bring him out. I don't think we've really seen Rey Mysterio at the kickoff shows. I know maybe when they was having a feud of bit of Judgment Day type stuff. I don't know. All right, so it says, fortunately, I can't send my 30-man Rumble to you guys on Twitter because I need to be verified. Oh, yeah, you sent this message the other day on that other stream, didn't you, buddy? Wasted spot for a talented, underrated wrestlers like Pete Dunne and Montez Ford. Yeah, so in reference to them using a celebrity in one of those spots, I do get what you mean there, buddy. It will be more of a pain when you watch it and you notice certain people not in it. That's when you go, oh, that kind of was wasted. And that has happened in the past. Going back to your comment there, buddy, about your Rumble thing, I'm still trying to work on a way to do it. So I'll drop you a comment at some point if I do find a way, mate. And hopefully we can get that on. I know you'll be joining us on the build-up show either way. And we'll try our best to feature that on that as well. But thanks as always for tuning in, mate. There's no way Rey Mysterio is going to win the Royal Rumble. And he just shouldn't. You know, it doesn't call for it storyline wise. It's great, but come on. Two-time winners annoy me anyway. And there are a few kind of possible two-time winners still. Cena being the biggest one. And I'm still not sure how I feel about that. I think I'll dive deeper into the Cena kind of theories on the build-up show live portion. So Ray wants to repeat history. I don't make it. I didn't see that's why I'm uncomfortable. Right. They're making it about Eddie Guerrero again. Like that. If there's one uncomfortable thing about Ray's 2006 Rumble win and title reign, it was kind of cashing in on the Eddie thing. It was a lovely moment. I got it, but it was borderline too much. To say it again this many years later, I just think is a little cheap. As much as I loved Eddie Guerrero and appreciated all the tributes and the mention of him every now and then and showing respect to him as well, but to kind of make it about your Rumble victory again. Anyway, Ray's not winning it. Oh, Pat's calling Cole a liar. Okay. CM Punk. Yeah, he was on the Pat McAfee show earlier on today. So Cole saying that Pat didn't want him on this show and Pat saying you're a liar. They did make reference to the AJ Lee rumors and the video that we mentioned on the kickoff weekend kickoff stream. And Punk, of course, denied it further. But I do have a good feeling she's going to be showing up. Again, if you want to know my thoughts, check out the original weekend stream we did, weekend kickoff stream. I see the sign in the audience, Prime tastes bad. And the back of his sign's great as well. It says bring back Sheamus's old fame. Oh, what a great double sign. I mean, I've never tasted Prime if I'm honest, so but still, what a statement, eh? So CM Punk just called Cole out for reading his script. See, this good Punk playing off of that, being like, you know, as you will. Oh, you want him to win it, or do you want me to win it? Oh, now they're trying to AJ Lee. See, it's what we talked about earlier, right? It could be a risk. Oh. Punk's taking his top. Oh, okay. He's got a Larry shirt on. Now he's changed it to a Larry chant. He's a clever man. He says, we're the first family of wrestling you've chanted for me, my wife, and my dog. So they acknowledged it. I mean, you kind of got it right, but that's, again, what's risky about doing this for the Rumble, but why I enjoy these kickoff shows so much now, because it does give you a little bit of flexibility, it seems, if you're a wrestler. So Cole's asking why he needs to main event WrestleMania. I assume he's to scare the out of me, and that's why the sound dipped. But he's basically saying the reason is that he needs the pressure. He's always wanted, to win the Rumble because it's his dream to be in WWE. Now he's there and he's watched his heroes win, go to WrestleMania, even main event it, and now he wants to be in that list essentially, which makes sense. I really wanted him to get it last year, under the injury. What a shame. And I felt like this year didn't really make as much sense. But now, the closer we get to it, as I said on the original prediction video on this channel, I think he kind of makes the most sense. There are so many different storylines that he can go into, really. And again, we'll dive into that more on the live portion of the build-up, because I've got a few kind of reasons as to why I think CM Punk is probably the most likely. And the fact they stack up is why I've gone towards Punk more than other wrestlers that are also, any other year I would say, yeah. I mean, even this year, Cena's a very high possibility, don't get me wrong. So is Drew, you could say Sammy, you could say Seth Rollins. But I think there's a lot of reasons that CM Punk could win it. So again, we'll talk a little bit more about that on the live section of the build-up show. Wow, 1 year tomorrow is since he had surgery, apparently, says Pat. Is this another Rumble guest? Dark Horse, who says, who's it going to be? Is it Sami Zayn, maybe? Yeah, come on. See, like, I don't really expect Sami to win it, but if he did, it would be big. Oh, wow, he's wearing a Celtic shirt. I didn't expect that. Interesting. They're not in Glasgow, but all right. It's a nice shirt, though, I've got to be honest. And the fans are singing his theme song. Oh, Sammy deserves a lot, man. He does deserve to win a Rumble. We're not where we were 2 years ago with him, but we could get there. And he should win a world title in his career. And there are a lot of storylines you could do with Sami Zayn. This thing they're playing into with Kevin Owens, and him potentially turning heel soon as well because of this. Maybe wins it in a heelish way, or wins it as a face but turns heel, or there's a lot you can still do with Sami Zayn. He is more of a dark horse, as Michael Cole says. So he's asking, can he shut the world and win the Rumble? So hyping up the crowd again, 65,000 people. It is a star-studded lineup, as he says. That's why I think a lot of people are excited about this year, because it is somewhat harder to pick because there are big names in it. Yeah, and as Zayn says, he's got a lot of kind of relationships he kind of leans into here. Storyline wise, there's a lot that he could do. It's just like Punk. I think Punk's different because I don't know. Sami's only said about momentum and how important it is in the company and how it works. And he feels he's got the momentum back. It would change everything. That's the beauty of the Rumble, right? It doesn't feel like he's going to win it to me at the moment. But if he won the Rumble tomorrow, it would change everything. Like, you'd suddenly be thinking, where are you going? Like, who's he facing? What champion? Why? In what way? What's the journey between the Rumble and WrestleMania? Then you got 2 nights of WrestleMania these days, as well as the 2 titles you could go for. The title that could change at the Rumble. I don't think it will, but it could do. And it could go to Kevin Owens, and it could be Sami versus Kevin. There are so many things with the Royal Rumble. Right, yeah, so Pat's bringing up how he accidentally Huluva kicked Cody. And then he also did it to Seth as well, didn't he? They're doing something. And I don't know if it's just to simply create doubt that he might win it because he might be in a story going forward. Whatever's going on here has got to play into a story, even if he doesn't win the Rumble, right? So something's going on. Ooh, Sami's not happy with Pat. Oh, he's not happy. Oh, okay. And now they've cut it off because Drew's music is hit. Here's the thing. Sami has had a few times, even when he was IC champ, at basically being like, I'm getting sick of people doing this. I'm getting, I remember that interview where he's really tired backstage being like, why do people keep doubting me and I'm winning defending the title. So he's had these things of like potentially turning heel. He had that argument with Seth on Raw, which felt more like Seth was going to be the one turning. But it's been a very kind of layered few months for Sami. So him turning heel would make sense. And speaking of which, the same happened with the man that's now on the stage opposite him. And there's a lot of these kind of people in and around the whole, the old Bloodline story, bringing Jey Uso to Raw that time and being disappointed in that from Drew. And then, people that fought against the Bloodline, working with the Bloodline, not even just ex-members like Sami. Oh, so yeah, all right. Now, Drew, the Rangers fan, has referenced Sami's shirt. So is it related to that? I mean, Punk wore a Celtic shirt after you jacket in the press conference in Clash of the Castle, Glasgow, because Drew is a Rangers fan. That might not sound like a big deal if you're not a football fan or a soccer fan, but they, let's put it mildly, do not like each other. Those two teams. All right, so Drew's saying, look, under no circumstances, don't help Roman win the Rumble. So help yourself. Is that going to be a dilemma as well? Are they going to play into Roman Reigns? Drew's saying the educational system in America is terrible. Okay, so Michael corrected Drew, saying, look, he's not 11-0 over you. You're 11-0 and over Sami. So imagine the last two. Sami throws Drew over the rope. That'd be exciting, though, because even though I'm not a big fan of 2-time winners, really, it can work. Like Drew, because Drew needs something. He deserves something. So Drew's really doubling down on this kind of anti-Roman Reigns thing. It's again the age-old thing, really, where the heel is technically in the right, but we're all going, he's changed, give him a chance. So Drew saying he's going to throw over CM Punk and Rollins and Cena. And he's going to eliminate Roman. This is a significant amount of time focusing on Sammy potentially winning. Because Drew's saying, look, let's play Fantasy Booker. Let's say you do it. So Drew's basically saying, look, Roman's going to take you out if you win it because he wants it as well. I don't know. What does Roman do in the Rumble, though? Yeah, so Sammy's basically saying he's been sick of people telling him what to do, really. Sammy don't care how Drew thinks. He's sending going away. Oh, I got a little tingle there. Just sort of thought of that. Sammy's aim maybe won the Rumble, but does he do it as a heel, though, you know? Sludge says tag teams should be banned off the Rumble. Do you mean I assume you don't mean the card? Do you mean in the Rumble itself, buddy? I like that. I like when they got tag teams and they start working together and then they toy around with turning on each other and all that. I think that works well. But as far as taking up spots, sometimes I agree with you. You're like, well, this person's never going to win. Why are they both in it? You know? So I get that. But sometimes it does work for the story. So they can't really ban tag teams, if that makes sense. Because you get the jealousy aspect, you get returns. So they're advertising this superstore. If anyone's watching that's out there in Indianapolis, let us know how it's going. I've seen some things online that make it look really cool. We'll talk about this a little bit more on the Build Up Streams live segment as well. But yeah, they've done a lot out there to kind of take over Indianapolis. It's really cool. Is this our promo? Is this the by the numbers, an updated version, or is it more about the Rumble's history? Oh man! So we're watching a promo now about the history of Rumble, essentially. So yes, in the Rumble. Yeah, I get what you mean, buddy. But yeah, I think it does work, but I can understand why it feels a bit like two wasted spots sometimes, right? If it feels unrealistic, but then at the same time, it's part of the fun when you have certain wrestlers, single wrestlers at least, going in there that are never going to win. So I guess you could argue the same for tags. So I think that's why 2022 was so boring. With so many people in it from teams. Wow, how weird is that to watch Bianca Belair in front of a load of screens? What a strange time to watch wrestling, eh? All right, now we're talking about the women's Royal Rumble. They mentioned fewer names for this, so who are they going to bring out? They're going to bring out Liv and Raquel. I wonder who else they're going to bring out. Charlotte's not going to be there yet, is she? So, oh, is this Bailey? See, Bailey winning last year was good. I wanted her to win, but yeah, won the title mania. But like, I feel like I don't know, could have been better. I don't know. I don't know what I feel about that. I think I wanted her to win it for solo. I think the story just didn't go in the way I expected with Bailey. I think it's because I wanted her to turn back into the hugger Bailey at the time. She didn't, like to really cement her babyface term. She ain't gonna win it this year, is she? I think this one's even more clear because of Charlotte. But that whole thing about Liv being in the final 2 years in a row, maybe it's changing my mind. Bailey playing with Michael Cole there. Yeah, so not just two-time winners, as Pat says, they've been back-to-back winners. I mean, that is Cody, of course, last 2 years is annoying. It feels like a waste. Like, at least with Cody, they kind of made up for it by, it clearly needs to do that, I guess, to do what they did at WrestleMania. Yeah, women's not done it. I don't think it'd be Bailey though. So Sludge Sport says Alpha. Oh, so this is about 2022, I assume. Alpha Academy, Street Profits, Arcade Bro, Dirty Dogs, Mysterio, Boogs, Nakamura, Madcap and McCorbin, Sheamus and Ridge, and the New Day were in that Rebel. For me, that's too much. That is ridiculous. You're right. That is so many teams. But the thing is, a lot of those guys are individuals, like mainly. Do you know what I mean? There were teams for a little bit, but yeah, that's a great point. That's a lot of teams in the 2022 Royal Rumble. That's a lovely jacket from Bailey there, Indianapolis 500 jacket. Hyping up the track that has 350,000 capacity. Imagine if they did a WrestleMania with 350,000. Imagine that. Bailey's pretending to practice with Mike Cole. She's going to throw him off the stage, it seems. So Cole's listing the 4 that have done it before: Hogan, Austin, Michaels, Cody, and possibly Bailey. Imagine if Cody. I was going to say imagine if Cody won it, but he's not in it. But I actually think maybe I should hold this back for the live segment on build-up show. But I think Cody might, if he does lose it, I think he might go back in the Rumble. Imagine him win it 3 times in a row. God. All right, so now we're going, I think, Liv Morgan next. Oh, no, we're going Naomi. So the fact they are being featured makes me think that maybe the Jade Cargill thing is going to happen at the Rumble. Let's see what they say. Someone dressed up like a... Why are they change? Why these theme song change? That's the Rumble's only challenge with the Rumble at the moment is figuring out who the heck's coming out. Well, at least they got this interactive bit, putting your fists up and that. Okay. So Bianca's coming out now as well. So it may be, again, we mentioned this possible surprise on the Weekend Kickoff stream we did earlier today. So if you do want to know my thoughts a bit more in depth, check that out. But it was about the whole kind of possibility of Jade Cargill coming out at the Rumble. And I thought, nah, because they've not built into this story, they've not kind of hinted towards it. But that could be the reveal. The reveal could be in the match where she's like, I know what you did to me, it could happen. I mean, otherwise, why are they featuring them? But I guess they're big stars. They are champs, even though if it's not about those titles. It's ironic to see Naomi with that title, considering all the drama around the last time she held that title, right? I feel like nobody's talking about that. Like, it's the reason she left was around that title. Yeah, she did get close last year, and it felt quite believable actually because of the return after controversial exit. Not controversial to fans, but I guess controversial as far as the relationship it might have. I think we lost a bit of signal there. Sorry about that, guys. Here is where, again, it could get awkward if people start shouting out, right? If people start shouting Jade Cargill's name or like, you screwed Jade. I bet you attacked Jade. Then that's going to be a bit awkward, right? I think I might do that if I was there. No, I couldn't do that because if I was there, I might be as a member of the press, and I'm gonna be a bit, be good, be on the best behavior. Surely now they've got to say to each other, "Well, I'm going to win it." Like we mentioned earlier on with Sludge, this is the thing about tag teams being in it. They've got to at least play off each other. Yeah, Pat mentioned it there. Every woman for themselves. So maybe it's not each other they got to look out for, though. It could be someone else. They're pretending to fight each other, basically, since Cole says, what happens if it's just you two in the end? But they're so playful with it. Maybe it is to kind of divert you and be like, they're just good guys. They're good guys. They're happy with each other. And then all of a sudden it's because they've done something evil in the background, they've took out their friend. Like I say, I think the best way to go around the whole Jade Cargill thing, whether it's at Mania, here at Rumble, whenever she comes back, I think it should turn out that Naomi did it and it's to get into this position she's in now. But then it should, in order to extend that feud even further, it should turn out that Bianca was part of the plan. And then you get that big match between Bianca and Jade as well as Naomi versus Jade. Oh, Nia Jax. I thought she'd be coming out. Yeah, is this like one of the only things Nia's not won then? She's not won the Rumble? Or has she won the Rumble? Another theme song that is... Like, honestly, if this hit in the Rumble, which it will, I'd have no idea it was coming out. I'd have no idea. Like, hearing this bit here, I'm like, oh, yeah, I kind of recognize it. Yeah, it's Nia Jax, yeah. Who's screaming in the audience? I think they're saying I love you. Yeah, they are. There's someone in the audience. Oh, no, no, so you're going to take that. What? Oh, Tiffy time. They haven't really touched on the Tiffany Stratton thing, right? Since she lost the title. So she's a favorite. God, someone is screaming. And they're just ripping Michael Cole's fashion sense now. Oh, like a true pro heel. She's turned it around to dissing the local fans. Yeah, good point. Yeah, Nia has been dominating. Queen of Ring, women's champ. Royal Rumble seems to be next on that list. Nia is good, like on the mic. Yeah. Yeah, so she's talking about the time she met at the Men and Women Rumble. You might have seen it on the streams over the years, but I'm not a fan of that anymore. Like, there's one thing when China did it, and it was only one Rumble to do it on, but I'd be mad if she did just enter the women's and the men's and won them both, right? All right, not much time left. Is it all related to the Rumble then? Oh, you got Cody as well. Well, I say not much time left. I don't know. It's just usually an hour long, isn't it? So, okay, so now they're bringing out Liv and Raquel, and then at least Cody. And judging by how it usually goes, there's about 15 minutes left of this kickoff. But maybe it'll go a little bit longer. Again, for those watching live, appreciate you. For those watching on demand, you too. And those watching the replay section on the build-up show, thank you very much for tuning in as well. We are currently watching the kickoff show from WWE and reacting to it. Liv and Raquel are now on the stage. Wait, what would they do next? They've been a great few months. I've really enjoyed what they've done. Even though the Rhea feud went on a bit long. No, I think I'd be happy if Liv won the Royal Rumble. Especially after getting close 2 years in a row, like I say. Oh, they want to get reintroduced. Not a fan of the original introduction. There you go. Some good heel work. But look how much fun they're having with. I like these kickoff shows, man. Like I keep saying, it's a good time. Sludge says she hasn't got a reason to win it this time. Is that in reference to Liv, mate, or Nia? I missed that. Here we go. Another entrance. And as she does another entrance, I'll use this as an opportunity to tell you that we've had the privilege of interviewing Liv Morgan on this very channel. If you haven't seen it already, please go back and watch that. Great conversation with former women's champion, as you see there. She's basically saying she's learned from the last 2 years. She'd be able to do it. Wow. So only her and Natalia have been in all of them. So says Nia, she hasn't not won a Rumble because she has no reason to. Yeah, I don't think storyline calls for it at the moment, if I'm honest, Sludge. I think you're right. It's just one of those ticking them off the list, you know, like when you look at certain wrestlers when they've been there for a while. It's a bit of a surprise she hasn't won it. But like I say, if there's no reason to. Now they're trying to hype up Raquel now and say, look, what about if you won the Rumble? Kind of splitting between her and Liv. I hope they don't split these two up soon. I think they're doing well together. It'd be too obvious. Okay, so she spoke in Spanish. And the thing is, I'm learning Spanish, guys. But that was a bit fast for me. I'd love to translate. Wait, maybe one day. All right, so she's saying she's loyal to the Judgment Day. Where my Livy wants, my Livy gets. Just like what Liv says about Dom. Oh, okay. So Liv saying Raquel's in it to guarantee my victory. Now I think Raquel is going to throw Liv out. Yeah, that's made me feel a little bit different about things. That was a bit too on the point of Raquel is in this match to help me win, and Raquel just went along with it. You didn't even have the kind of Raquel going, hold on, what? She just went along with it, which makes me think that's definitely happening, or maybe it's a twist. Who knows? But again, this is why the Rumble's so fun, right, guys? Again, not long now to the Royal Rumble. As we watch this live, we are pretty much 24 hours away. 23 hours and 50 minutes, but you know what I'm saying. Away from the Royal Rumble kicking off in Indianapolis on Saturday night. Once again, if you're watching live, we are here doing a watch along of the kickoff show. If you're watching on demand, appreciate you for tuning in. And those watching on the replay section on the build up show, thank you for tuning in as well. And once again, we're going to dive into this card and predictions and things like that more throughout Saturday, leading towards 11 o'clock in the UK when it kicks off. But we're going to be live for quite some time on Saturday evening, again, breaking down the card and going through all the latest rumors. If you haven't seen it already, my original stream earlier was a weekend kickoff stream where we basically went through all of the big rumors surrounding the men's and women's championship Royal Rumble match, I should say. But now it's time to talk about what half of those might be going for, and that is the WWE title. Of course, they could be going for Gunther's World Heavyweight title, but it'd be interesting to see if whoever wins the Rumble does go after the WWE title, and whether or not that title is around the waist of Cody Rhodes or maybe Kevin Owens. So it says, my WWE routine is I watch the Rumble, I watch WWE non-stop until September, then I stop watching and it repeats. Oh, really? You just take time off between September and the Rumble? It does start to get a bit quieter around that time. Maybe we need to address that more. I mean, the Survivor Series is pretty good. Past few years have been quite big, isn't it? Right, but Cody Rhodes is now making his way onto the stage with the WWE title. Not the Winged Eagle, of course, because Mr. Owens is walking around with that. It'd be interesting to see who wins and how they react with the Winged Eagle. Oh, we'll let the woe happen. Sorry. There we go. Nice big woe. Be interesting to see, as I say, what happens to the Winged Eagle title after. I don't think they're going to keep it as part of the show or anything like that, like properly. But I'm surprised they did it after that first Saturday Night's main event. But I had the same questions then of like, how do you wrap that up without devaluing either title? Like, you can't hold them both and then go, I've just got WWE. I don't care about the Winged Eagle. And you can't retire WWE one, I don't think, either. So they'll have to kind of have the image of holding both and then come out on the next show with just the WWE one. And the person more likely to do that would be Cody. Unless, as a heel, Kevin Owens wins them both and it goes, I've just used this as a prop. I don't care about it. And that's even more insulting. Throws it away because it's the, prestigious Winged Eagle and you've shown it disrespect. Christopher Leclerc is in the house as Liv Morgan is delusional if she thinks she's winning the Royal Rumble tomorrow night. It's going to be either Bayley, Charlotte Flair winning the Rumble. Yeah, Bayley said we talked about Bayley earlier on. I just don't see it because I just don't know what she'd do. Last year, the storyline seemed obvious, the whole damage control thing. But Charlotte Flair, I agree with you, buddy. I think Charlotte Flair is the most likely to win it. My predictions from earlier on this week was Charlotte. My prediction earlier on today was Charlotte. And we'll see what it's like on the live section of the build-up show on Saturday. But I reckon my prediction is still going to be Charlotte. Ooh, Cody saying everyone's talking about winning the Rumble and going to Mania. What's so hard if I did it twice? Christopher again says Rhea Ripley and Bailey. Rhea Ripley is the match. Oh, okay. Rhea Ripley and Bailey. Yeah, I mean, someone would have to turn though, wouldn't they? Someone would have to be a heel, I guess. What's the sign he's looking for? Is it the prime taste bad? I wish. No. Cody just reading random signs out here now. Yeah. Here for Michael Cole's job. Oh, that's it. The Sheamus sign he wants to see. Cody's pointed out the sign to bring back Sheamus's old theme. You need to bring back a lot of people's old theme, by the way, guys. Christopher says Bailey will be the heel and Rhea Ripley be the face. So you think Bailey's going to switch back? You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Bailey did switch back because the babyface run hasn't been setting the world on fire, has it? It's been okay. But I think that's just because I'm sore about her not being the hugger again. As Cody says there, he wants Sheamus's old thing. He's trying to get a petition going, it seems. I would love it. Oh, someone's got Joe Hendry face in the audience there as well. Definitely think he's going to be showing up. We've said his name, so he's probably going to appear. There we go. Okay, Cody wants to do something. I feel like I'm getting deja vu. Did this not happen on the last kickoff where Cody did something a bit strange at the end? Maybe I'm just having deja vu. Okay, he's leaning into Michael Cole. Appreciation. What's this all about? Oh, what's he want Cole to do? Wow, he's trying to make a moment at the kickoff show by getting Michael Cole to crowd surf. Wow, I think they're all going to do it. It'd be a cool visual to promote the kickoff shows going forward and to promote the Royal Rumble. Just that image of loads of people just like they do the Rumble anyway. Well, they're actually going to stage dive. Oh, I'm scared for him. I'm scared Michael Cole's going to get injured. What a weird way to end the kickoff show. They've it literally just shuts down Fred all the plugs. Yeah, it's on at this time tomorrow. Hold on. Okay, Michael Cole's falling already. As he gets on, gets down. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Go on, lift him up. Lift him up. Whee! Michael Cole and Cody Rhodes have ended the kickoff show by crowd surfing, which is not what I expected to be saying in this stream, but here we are. And this is why I enjoy these kickoff shows. They're fun, they're silly, and a lot of the wrestlers do go off script, but they give you a little hint as to what we might be seeing. Pat didn't jump like I thought he would, but that was it, guys. That was the end of the kickoff show. And again, a thoroughly enjoyable one. Sludge says Michael Cole for Hall of Fame. I think so, mate. I mean, he's deserved it now. He's got a Hall of Fame career for sure. But that moment at the end might have been enough to tip the scales in case people weren't 100% sold. But yeah, what a good kickoff show. I really hope you've enjoyed it, guys. I've enjoyed basically reacting to it with you. I really appreciate everyone that's been commenting in the chat so far. And again, if you've been watching live with me, thank you so much for letting me be your kind of I guess entertainment alongside the entertainment that we saw on WWE's YouTube channel there with the kickoff show. And yeah, really appreciate that. If you are watching on demand or you are watching on the replay of the build-up show, thank you there as well. This has been our kickoff watch along stream. Again, earlier we also did a kickoff of our own. We did our weekend kickoff. So if you haven't seen that already, guys, go back and check that out on this very channel. The stream is up live on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling YouTube channel for on-demand access as well. And like I mentioned earlier on, tomorrow night we'll be coming back for a build-up show. That's what we love to do on this channel. It's a tradition of ours. Every single PLE, we try our best to get us and you guys hyped up for that PLE by hitting you with a build-up show. And it's some of the most fun streams we do every single month as well, because we kind of talk last-minute rumors, and what better show than Royal Rumble? Like, there's not many that get to that level when it comes to the last-minute rumors and stuff like that. We break those down. We go through the card. We get predictions, and we also often get our friends from the wrestling media to jump on as well and give us their final thoughts as we head into the big PLE as well. And of course, not many bigger, I should say, because WrestleMania is right around the corner, but not many bigger, let's be honest, than the Royal Rumble. After the Royal Rumble goes off the air on Saturday, though, we're going to be hitting you with an instant reaction review. So if you want to know my thoughts on what happens at the Rumble, then join me on this very channel. Once again, let's run through the card. We got I've been saying a big one, but not a big one in the sense of numbers, but a big one in the kind of size of the matches themselves. Got a 2 out of 3 falls match between DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns. We got, as we've just seen there, Cody Rhodes defending his WWE title up against Kevin Owens. And then we've, of course, got 2 big matches to sink our teeth into tomorrow as well, with the Women's Royal Rumble and the Men's Royal Rumble as well. Christopher says, I want AJ Lee in the Women's Royal Rumble. That's all I want. I'm with you, buddy. One of the most kind of exciting rumors out there at the moment is the potential return of AJ Lee to WWE. Even if it's just a one-off, it would be so much fun, wouldn't it? But like I say, I've already dove into a lot of those potential surprises essentially on our weekend kickoff. So once again, just going to plug that. Head back onto our channel once the stream ends to check that video out and see my thoughts a little bit more in depth. But as I say, tomorrow we'll go even further with the last minute predictions. We'll go even further with the last minute rumors, because you'll know there'll be talk about people arriving from airports and being spotted and all that kind of stuff as well. We'll be talking about that in depth again with more members of the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel and members of the wrestling media world, as I say, on our build-up show as well. But thank you very much for tuning in tonight, guys. I've been Scott. This has been your watch along for the WWE Royal Rumble Kickoff show. Please subscribe. I'd love to have you back with us on the build-up show. And hey, I'll see you there.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.